Welcome to the Wolfpack 6th grade. We are so excited to have you with us. Trent is one of my favorite places to work at. It's been an amazing place to be. I bring my own kids here. You are going to love it here. I'm Miss Leslie. I am your librarian. We are going to have so much fun together. Whether you are virtual or face-to-face, you're going to be interacting with me. I'm going to be working with you. I do all kinds of stuff here at Trent. You're not only going to see me for your ILA class, but you're also going to see me for your Academy Connect class here pretty soon. We do a research unit in that class, and so you'll get an opportunity to see me then. Today, what I want to talk to you guys about is Sora. Many of you guys have used it, and some of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Sora is an online checkout system where you guys can actually check out digital books and digital audiobooks out so that you onto your either computer or device so that you can read without having a physical book. Now, we are going to do libraries to go in the very near future, where whether you're virtual or face-to-face, you guys will so everyone's going to have that opportunity, but we're going to hold off on that until September. There's so much going on right now that I don't want you guys feeling overwhelmed. So we're going to start with Sora. In the rest of this video, what you're going to see is you're going to see Sora used on a computer and Sora used on a device. That way you know both ways to do it. There's so many, we have thousands and thousands of books on there, and there's so much to choose from. I'm excited for you guys, and I cannot wait to either see you in your virtual class or to see you in person. Have a wonderful day. I've gone to the app or to the website, SORAAPP.com, on my computer or on my Chromebook or wherever you're doing it from. And I'm going to click on, not all the time will you see this Frisco ISD right here. If you do not see Frisco ISD, this is not a Trent Middle School website. You need to have Frisco ISD. So if not, it's easy enough to click here, and then you can go, my school isn't listed, and then you can type in Frisco, and it should pop up, and you can click on this is my school. Now your username is going to be your ID number, your 6-digit ID number. This is the same thing you used when you were on when you were getting onto your cafeteria account. Yeah, I'm getting lunch. This is the same thing you would type in whenever you were getting your books in the library. So that's what this is right here. So take a second real quick. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna let you type it in and hit sign in. You will see thousands of different books broken up in different ways so that you can even go to explore all subjects, and there's so many books. We have ebooks and we have audiobooks. You can see that there's more than 4,000 titles right here, 3,300 ebooks, almost 1,500 audiobooks, and more is being added all the time. We do everything we can to keep up with new releases that are coming out, and also keeping the ones that you guys love on here all the time, because the way it works is sometimes they might go away because they've been so popular. So here's what I'm going to show you how to. I'm just going to show you a couple of tips. You guys know how to do searches and stuff, so you can search for a book up here. You can search by series, you can search by title, you can search by author. One of the really popular ones is the School for Good and Evil. And so if you see that, you can click on that, or you can type in that, and you'll see everything. Just a couple of things I want to show you when you look at something. First off, with the headset underneath it, like this one, you'll notice that is an audiobook. Without the headset is the ebook. Okay. Now, if it automatically says borrow, it means that you can borrow it right now. No one else has it. Even though it's an ebook version, you might have to wait in line. We can't allow every kid to have access to every book all the time. Just like when you buy a physical book, we only have one person for one copy. So that's how that works even in the ebook world when we are checking out books. Okay. Now, if you have to place a hold, there'll be a little clock here. If it has dots after it, I don't know if any of these have extra dots, but what that means is that it might take a little bit longer. A lot of times it'll give you a wait time. If you don't want to wait like a month or 2 months, or I know I've been on hold for 15 weeks for a book that I just now got. And so you might want to see that. But if it doesn't look like there's multiple dots after it, it's probably within a couple of weeks. Okay, so you can place holds, you can read a sample, you can even click on the book if you want to know just a little bit more about it. It gives you an idea of what it is, gives you a little summary. You can even, if you don't want to borrow, you just want to create a list, you can add it to a list that you've created. But it also shows you, okay, here are the other ones. If you're looking for what the series is, there's that. So that's how you do it when you're just doing a search. You can always go home. Now we have recommended titles. After a while, these will start becoming more of what you want. You'll notice that it starts seeing your preferences. You can also go right here. And then let's say that you only want to look at books that are available right now. That way you don't have to keep looking at books that you have to put on hold. You can do that. We also, if you only want ebooks or you only want audiobooks, you can change it to that. You can also change it if you want juvenile, or juvenile is elementary and young adult is middle school. General adult is high school, and as middle school students, you can't see those anyway, so that works out well. But let's say you want mystery books. Okay, you can look through those that way if you want to. I'm going to show you how to use your app on your phone, but when I'm looking just to create either a list or to create, just seeing what they have, I personally like looking on the computer better. It is so much easier to look at this in this way than it is on my screen, because you scroll and scroll and scroll on your screen. Your iPad's a good place just because it's a little bit larger of a screen, but as you can see, there's just so many things to choose from. Some of them are newer. Many of you guys love Stuart Gibbs, and this is the newest of his, and we do have that. And some of them have been out for a while, as Aliga and the Lantern has been out for a while. So has April Henry's a great middle school one, but some of, like OCD Daniel, has actually been out for a while. And so you'll notice that we have new, we have a little older, we have everything in between. Some of them you will recognize from elementary school also, because there is that crossover. And so just kind of take a look through these as you guys go. Let's say that I'm like, you know what, I really want to borrow this one. Okay, I'm going to click on borrow, and it's automatically going to pull it over here. Now, I can start reading it from my screen here if I would like. I can move it forward by clicking over to the right. I can move it back by clicking to the left. Okay. I can change, if I do not like the way that this is set up, where it's almost like a book where it's two, I can make it a single page where I only see that. I can also come over here to what I call the hamburger button, and I can actually change the reading settings. If I need to go a little bit larger, if I want to do a dark screen versus a light screen, this is what I do on my phone at night, so it doesn't hurt my eyes as much. I can even change it to Sepatone. I can even change the font if I want to, if it makes it easier. And it would probably help if I went into the actual book real quick so you guys could see how it's changing as I do this. Okay, you can change, if I go in the middle again, it'll pop that up. I can even change, if I want to do a custom font, I can do that, and you'll notice that it has the different ones if I want to do that. I can do, and again, I can change the font size if I need it to be a little bit larger. I can even do that, and I can get it even bigger. So if you're wondering how to make it even bigger than what the biggest setting is, it's include accessibility sizes. Okay, and then from there, you can read. Now, I can also pull this up on my device. If you check stuff out here and then you want to get it onto your device, that is very easy to do. All you have to do is upload the app. It's the Sora app, and I'm going to show you next how to utilize your app on your phone. But what I do want to say one more thing is, you right now, and I'm actually on my son's account right now, these books are going to be checked out to you for 2 weeks at a time. So you have 2 weeks. So if I click right now, if I go to my shelf and I see that it's here, I can actually see when it's ready to be turned in. Okay. And so if I wanted to, it says it's doing 13 days. So I have 2 weeks with this book, and I have the option to return it. I can send it to a specific device. Now, let's say this gets down to like 2 days and I'm almost done, but not quite. If nobody is in line behind me, I can actually click renew, and it will renew it for me for another 2 weeks. I would wait to do that till a little closer, and your app will actually, and your device will actually show you when it's close to being due. So that's definitely a way to use it. Now let's move over to the app. So now let's talk about Sora app. Now, if you guys want to already have gone to your store, whether it be on your Android, your Google phone, or your iPhone, you will see the app that has a little man. It's called, you just type in Sora. It's got a little robot looking dude, kind of a cartoon. You'll see him in my top right of my books grouping. Okay. So go ahead and take care of that. It is a free app. Everything about this is free. So just make sure you have all that taken care of. Then if you click on Sora, it will pop open. Now mine is already signed in. I don't want to sign out, but it will ask you to sign in if you need to, and then it will go through the same thing that your computer did. It will make you do the find your school, and remember we're Frisco ISD, not Trent, and then it's going to ask you to sign in. Now if you've already checked out books on your computer, you'll see them if you go to on the bottom. You'll see, once you sign in, you'll see our four options at the bottom. And if you go to the one with the little books, it looks like a bookshelf. That's your shelf, and you'll see the books on there that you have checked out. Now, what you will, once you open it, they will need to start downloading, and that way you can look at them all the time, but we'll get to that. Now, when you're at home, it's just showing you if you have any assignments, because a teacher can technically assign something in Sora, and what your loans are. In order to look for books, you're going to want to click on the binoculars button on the bottom. And this is how you start looking for different books. Now let's start with preferences, okay? This is the same thing that you just did in Sora app on the computer, where you can actually change what you want. Do you want everything? That means any book that we have, and even if you have to put it on hold, you want to see everything? Or do you just want to see the things that you can check out right now? And then I always look by format. Sometimes I want an ebook, sometimes I want an audiobook, sometimes I don't know what I want, so I leave it at any. But if you change anything, just make sure and hit apply so that it's there. Now, it's going to start telling you some of the suggestions for you after you start checking out a few books. It's going to try to get to know your habits. If you scroll down is where your popular subjects are, and then it even has like sections. It'll give you like, okay, here's poetry books, and then here's some road trip audiobooks for you, and here's some audiobooks for kids. Guys, I know it says audiobooks for children, but some of our best audiobooks are the younger ones. The War I Finally Won, which you might have read in elementary school, is also in our high school, and it's one of my favorite books of our area, and a lot of my students love that series. You'll notice we've got available now books. That's just books that are available, and also new editions. So you can do it that way, just like you did before. You can search up here with the magnifying glass if you want to look for girls, personally, romance books. If you've been here before, you know Casey West is my go-to, and you can look and see what we have of hers. Or you can just start looking at different collections. If you want to do, okay, you know what? I really would like to see what the most popular ones on here are, and just kind of look through those if you would like. Now to download, let's just open. I like looking for, I'm going to do that School for Good and Evil again. And Evil. And then it will pop up everything that they have. On an audiobook, let's say I want to go ahead and borrow it. I just hit borrow. What I love about this is it's going to start transferring over to my other. But what it's going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hit close. If I go to my shelf, you will notice that it is downloading. It's thinking right now. See if we can go back and see if it'll pop up. There you go. It is now downloading this audiobook for me. And what that means is if I go off of Wi-Fi, first off, you can only download to your device in Wi-Fi. So it's not going to use crazy amounts of data to download this. On the other side of it, let's say I leave this the Wi-Fi area and I'm in the car. Is it going to use data to listen or to read this book? The answer is no. Once it's downloaded, it's kind of like when you download music to your phone. No matter how much I listen to it, it's not taking data unless I don't download it. I always suggest over here, this the hamburger button, go to general settings. Go to download settings, and I always hit everything is automatically downloaded. because I want it to go ahead and happen while in Wi-Fi. That way, if I leave, I'm not using any of that information. Now, let's say that you are done with something a little earlier than you thought you would be. Maybe you finish it, maybe you don't like it. I can actually click on that and I can return it if I would like to. So I'm going to actually do that right now so you can see what that looks like. Do you want to return it? The answer is yes, I do. And it's gone. Now, let's say it is the 14th day and I'm not done with the book, but it is time for it to be turned in and there's someone ready for it behind me. It will automatically come off your device whenever you are in Wi-Fi again, and it will move on to the next person. So just be very aware of that. I make sure students know that, very much so when it comes to our audiobooks, because sometimes it takes longer than 2 weeks for audiobooks. Remember, when you're doing an audiobook, if I open this, I can actually change the speed at which it reads. Sometimes these books are very slow. The reader is not the quickest, or they're doing it for to make it more, I don't know, to enunciate their words better, and sometimes people just read a lot slower than I do and the way my brain works. So I can change that if I want to up here, or I can keep it at the 1 level, which is just the normal level. Now, I want to show you a couple of things when you're in a regular book. I'm going to click on it real quick and I'm just going to go ahead and open it. Very similar to what you saw on the computer. If I go over here to my reading settings, I can change what the background is. I can change the size if I want to. As you guys can see, Miss Leslie is going blind. That's how you can do all of that, and then you can start reading. And again, at the bottom, it'll tell you, I know everyone always wants to know where you are, how far you've gone. At the bottom, you can see that you can do that. You can also see where the chapters are going to be. If you scroll through, you'll see where those darker marks are if you need to get to the next chapter, or you can go here and say chapter, and then you can go to like chapter 3 if that's where you're at the time. So that's how you utilize the Sora app on your device. Now, go check out books.